As we approach the next episode of Kuruluş Osman, we find ourselves at the precipice of what may become one of the most pivotal moments in Osman Bey's journey. In the past episodes, we've witnessed Osman Bey confront numerous challenges, from the internal struggles of his leadership to the external threats from both the Byzantine Empire and the Mongol. Yet, the upcoming episode hints at a decision that could define his future as a leader, a ruler, and a person of integrity. But what exactly is this decision? Could it be that Osman Bey must choose between his personal values and the demands of his growing empire? Throughout the series, Osman Bey has been portrayed as a man of honor, justice, and compassion, but as the stakes get higher, we see these virtues continuously tested. The tensions between the immediate need for power and the long-term vision for the future of the Ottoman Empire have been building up. In this new episode, we expect a situation that will force Osman Bey into a moral quandary that he cannot easily resolve. What will his choice mean for his people, and what will it cost him personally? Let's first look at the central issue at hand. Osman Bey has always prioritized the well-being of his people and the loyalty of his close circle. However, with more enemies at the gate, both within and outside the tribe, there might be a compelling reason for Osman to make a decision that compromises his own moral compass. Could this be a betrayal of his principle? Or could he justify it as a necessary evil for the greater good of the empire? We have seen Osman Bey face these dilemmas before, especially in his relationships with his allies and family. However, now the stakes are different. His decisions are no longer confined to the fate of a small group or an isolated incident. The future of an entire nation could be shaped by the choices he makes in this episode. In previous seasons, Osman's decisions have often led to intense internal conflicts within his rank, leading us to wonder whether he will lose the support of his most trusted companions, such as Bala Hatun or Aygit. The loyalty of his allies has always been a cornerstone of his power, and if he makes a decision that is seen as too harsh or too compromising, it could splinter the unity he has worked so hard to maintain. Could this new decision have ripple effects across the empire? One thing that has remained constant throughout Kuruluş Osman is the emphasis on unity. Osman has always emphasized the importance of keeping his people together, but in a world where trust is fragile and power dynamics shift constantly, maintaining that unity is far from guaranteed. As we look ahead to this episode, we might be left asking, what sacrifices will Osman have to make to ensure that his people remain united? A crucial question to consider as we watch this episode unfold is whether Osman Bey will truly be alone in his decision. While it's clear that the weight of the decision will fall on his shoulder, the episode hints at significant involvement from other characters. We could see Bala Hatun and her influence play a major role in helping Osman navigate this complex choice. But what if her perspective leads to a decision that directly contradicts Osman's values? Will this cause friction between them, and could it lead to a larger rift in their relationship? As viewers, we are left questioning if love and duty can truly coexist when the survival of the empire is at risk. This brings us to the critical question: what does this choice mean for Osman Bey's future? If he makes the decision that seems easiest or most politically beneficial, will he be sacrificing the very principles that made him who he is? Or will he be taking a step towards something even greater, showing that leadership is not just about personal honor, but about making hard decisions for the benefit of the many? Will this decision define him as a ruler in the eyes of his people, or will it be his downfall? As we explore these themes, we are reminded of the central struggle in the series, the balance between personal values and the brutal demands of leadership. We may be on the cusp of witnessing a dramatic shift in Osman Bey's character, one that could forever alter the trajectory of the empire he is striving to build. As we continue to analyze Osman Bey's difficult decision in the upcoming episode of Kuruluş Osman, we must delve deeper into the potential consequences of his choice, particularly when it comes to his leadership style and the evolving dynamics within the tribe. The question we must consider is, will Osman Bey's decision set a precedent for how he leads from now on? Or is it simply an isolated moment of necessity? Historically, we have seen Osman struggle with the tension between his desire to be a just leader and the realities of governing an empire built on conflict and conquest. This conflict has been a defining feature of his character. In the first season, Osman's personal principles were often at odds with the harsh world he inhabited, a world where betrayal, politics, and war often trumped honor. As the series progresses, these tensions only seem to grow. This episode will test whether Osman can balance these competing forces, or if he will be forced to make a decision that compromises everything he has worked for up to this point. An important consideration here is the question of trust. Since the beginning of the series, Osman has emphasized the importance of loyalty within his rank, as this has always been the bedrock upon which his leadership rests. His family, especially his brother, Safsi, and his close allies, like Bomsi and Turgut, have been integral to his success. However, we know that trust in the world of Kuruluş Osman is fragile. In this episode, we may witness Osman's decision challenging the loyalty of those around him. Could this decision create rifts in Osman's inner circle? It's easy to assume that characters like Bomsi, who has always supported Osman without question, would continue to do so, but what if this decision pushes him to a breaking point? Bomsi's loyalty has been unwavering, yet we've seen glimpses of his inner struggle when Osman's choices veer into morally gray territory. This upcoming decision could provide Bomsi and other key characters with a choice to follow Osman's lead or to question his authority, and the stakes are higher than ever. If Bomsi were to falter in his loyalty, it could create a ripple effect within the tribe. In fact, the question of loyalty is likely to become one of the central themes of this episode. How will the other members of Osman's circle respond? Will they side with him in his most difficult hour, or will they question his judgment and, in doing so, fracture the unity of the tribe? What about the other prominent characters who have their own stakes in the empire, such as the Byzantine enemies or even the Mongol? These external threats are just as important in determining Osman's course of action. His decisions are not only influenced by his people, but by the geopolitical forces that threaten to undermine his rule. Could this decision be a strategic one, aimed at solidifying his position in the face of these powerful foes? The nature of these decisions often leaves us wondering, is this a tactical move, or is Osman's heart guiding his action? We also need to consider Osman's evolving relationship with his family, especially with his wife, Bala Hatun. In the past, their relationship has been a strong support system for Osman, but as the responsibilities of leadership weigh heavily on him, how will Bala's role shift? She has always been a voice of reason, and we've seen how much influence she has over Osman's choices. However, if her advice conflicts with what Osman knows to be necessary for the empire's survival, could it create a moral conflict between them? It's crucial to examine whether the love and respect between them can withstand a decision that may strain their relationship. In a world where political marriages are often forged for pragmatic reasons, their bond has remained one of genuine affection. But the question remains, can their relationship survive the harsh realities of empire building? Moreover, Osman's decision will undoubtedly have far-reaching consequences for the future of the empire he is building. This episode is likely to be a turning point in Osman's rule, signaling a shift in how he governs and the kind of leader he will become. The stakes are not just personal. This decision will set the course for the future of the entire Turkish state. Will Osman make a choice that will strengthen his position in the short term but weaken his empire in the long run? Or will he make the harder choice that ensures the survival of his vision for the future, even if it means personal loss?